we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Mystery, mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery. Mystery, mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery. Where do we come from? Mystery. What are we? Life is a riddle and a mystery. Where do we come from? Mystery. What are we? Life is a riddle and a mystery. Where do we come from? Mystery. What are we? Life is a riddle and a mystery. Where do we come from? Mystery. Are we? Life is a riddle and a mystery. Where do we come from? Mystery. What are we? Life is a riddle and a mystery. Where do we come from? Mystery. What are we? Life is a riddle and a mystery. Mystery, mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery. Mystery, mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery. Where do we come from? Mystery. What are we? Where are we going? Where are we? Mystery. Are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? Mystery. Are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? Mystery. Are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? Mystery. Are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? Where are we going? Mystery, mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery. Mystery, mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery. Mystery, mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery. Mystery, mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery.
Yes. Thank you, Susannah. Good morning again. My opening verse today are kind of complimentary of the rain. Because as I was pulling up, I heard the words of Mr. Hendricks in my head. Something about rain. Rain. The sound of rain falling down. Reminds me of joy and pain, which is always around. Joy and pain. Joy and pain. Last week I shared a little bit from Miss Brene Brown. I'm going to use her opening words this morning. For she reminds us that you and I and everyone you will ever meet are biologically, cognitively, physically, and here's the one, spiritually connected. Helen, we are wired for love. Wired for love. Wired for love. And when those needs are not met, we don't function as we were meant to function. We tend to sort of fall apart. We ache, we get sick, and we hurt others. Knowing this and sitting where we're sitting, let us remind us of our affirmation in this fellowship at this time. When folks ask me, as they have, I have a Unitarian Universalist garb that I wear. Kathy and Chris have seen it. I have my UU cap, I got my UU fellowship shirt. We're not evangelical, but I am relational. And when folks see me, that's what they see sometimes. The question, well, who are you? Who are y'all? So I like to answer it one way, our way. This fellowship is welcoming. It's a welcoming. It's a diverse and nurturing, beloved community. We talk a lot about beloved community here in Unitarian Universalism, a vision and a dream. But this fellowship is a welcoming, diverse, and nurturing, beloved community that promotes progressive religious thought and practice to create a more loving and sustainable world. That's us, and that's y'all. That affirmation was here when I came, so those folks you see around here came up with that. Some announcements, stuff out in the world. Another quick reminder about Socktober, a collection for the Sedona Area Homeless Alliance. We're actually collecting socks, new socks, especially children's socks. Cora Shore, cash donations can be made to her. And you can find more information will be in our newsletter. Patrick Ki, our Honorable Secretary, reminds us that we're still looking for folks to help our in-person services on Sunday. All this stuff doesn't happen magically. Humans and folks known as volunteers step up to make it happen. We'd love to have you join us. Reminder that there are 3 ways to submit your announcements and joys and concerns if you wish them shared from this space. I stand here, but this is our space. You do understand that. This is a shared ministry. So 3 ways to submit your stuff for inclusion on the link is in our weekly e-blast. Submit emailing at admin@Sedona UU, and we will share your announcement. Also mention our friends here at the JCSVV, owners of this awesome spot we are in. They have a donation box outside for the Sedona Food Bank. So take a look at that. So I also want to put out 2 calls that come up quick. That is for all the poets we have sitting amongst us. We will be having a sermon that I've entitled Poetry as a Spiritual Practice. Do you consider this your personal invitation to be involved in that? Please see me. And the other piece is that your stories, your messages are welcome in this spot. So I also extend an invitation for anyone who has something that they feel they would like to share with this fellowship. This is that kind of fellowship. Let us create that umbrella, what I call the UU umbrella. As you use, I love that image of an umbrella, which is a lot of the reasons why I show up. It's a big umbrella big enough for everybody. As Gnostics, Hindus, Buddhists, those who don't know, those who inquire, all of that is welcome under the umbrella. So with the rekindling of this flame, let us recommit ourselves to accept life's gifts with grace and with gratitude, and to use those gifts to bless the world in a spirit of love. May it be so.
To Center Down by Howard Thurman. How good it is to center down, to sit quietly and see oneself pass by. The streets of our minds seethe with endless traffic. Our spirits resound with clashings, with noisy silences, while something deep within hungers and thirsts for the still moment and the resting lull. How good it is to center down.
So good morning, gracious ones. Good morning. And the rest of y'all too. As I said, all welcome here. Gracious or not. So, again, official welcome to SUUF, Sedona Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. Y'all know who I am, and I'm tickled pink as I get to know all y'all. And I welcome you in the name of the ancestors upon whose shoulders I stand, and I welcome you in the name of all that is holy and sacred for you. We do not ask what you believe, or expect you to think the way we do, but only that you try to live a kind and a helpful life with the dignity proper to that of a human being. So welcome all who might find strength in our fellowship. Welcome all who believe that religion is wider than any sect and deeper than any set of opinions. So welcome all who might find in our fellowship strength and encouragement for daily living. So spoke our brethren in Dublin, Ireland. And I will add the AJ edition. You see, it don't mean a thing.
If it ain't got that swing.
Thank y'all so much. Yes. Translate, hopefully something comes out of today and any message that I share you can use. It don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. Today is the talk, the message, the sermon is a statement, an exclamation, a realization that you do not have a soul. That I believe in fact you are a soul. You know, you can have a headache, you can have a new car, a new wife, new husband, a new adventure. We can't really have a soul. But I'm like you, I speak like that. You know I got a soul. We can get hung up in the language, of course. But the thought, the principle I want you to sit with as we do our dance today is the role that soul plays in modernity, in our lives, and just to ponder that question, what is soul? What is soul? Well, the truth is, I believe it cannot be really known in the sense of a literal definition. You know, what color is soul? How much does soul weigh? Can I order some soul? Can I get on Amazon? You know. So I'm going to call one of my friends, say what he said. You know, I called him Sir Ralph Waldo, y'all remember him for that. Emerson was part of that transcendental movement that reached out those white Bostonians, my other words, Puritans out of the Congregational movement who had a whoop, let me reach out to the east. Let me stretch out of my box a little bit. Oh, what's this thing? Well, I'm a Dharma. And he began to transcend what was around him. We came up with the phrase transcendentalism. What happens when we stretch out? So Emerson calls soul the wise silence. Lao Tzu calls it the Tao. Plato called it the good and the beautiful. Aristotle simply called it being. In Zulu, they call it moya. In Judaism, some call it Ein Sof. Ein Sof, that which is everything and nothing. Hit with that as we challenged our Cartesian mind. How can something be everything and also be nothing? That doesn't make, dare I say it, sense. And you're correct. The Ka, the Ba, and the Ak is what the Egyptians called it. We call it the soul. Now today, all around the world, most religious folks have a belief in the immortal soul. That our soul lives on in some form. Shared teaching in Hinduism, Zoroastrianism, Judaism, Buddhism, Christianity, Islam, Baha'i, as well as very strong and native First Nation people here and indigenous people around the planet. Some say the soul will live forever in either a heaven or a hell. Others suppose that after death the soul will reanimate with other life forms and an endless cycle of what? Reincarnation. Those folks that I study, the indigenous Africans as an example, believe in the immortality of the human soul. Or as the quantum physicists of the day like to remind us, energy cannot be created, it cannot be destroyed. I like to say, like ice to water to steam. I want to honor the non-believers too. I ain't mad at them. Most non-believers, of course, dispute the idea of the soul, being convinced that the death there is a nothingness. You know, you walk along like we do, certain age, and you get there, and boom, goodbye. Very linear approach. Personally, for me, I believe, like Emerson, what he calls the soul of the whole. And it resides, here's the key, in every person. In every person. The person sitting next to you. The person you just had coffee with or just whispered to. And yes, that turkey you saw in the mirror this morning. Especially then. He says, that great nature in which we rest, as the earth lies in the soft arms of the atmosphere, as the earth lies in the soft arms of the atmosphere, that is the unity. That oversoul. Within each, he said, every man, I got to update it, within every person, particular being is contained and is made one with all others. We live, you and I, we live in succession. You know, division, morning, noon, 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 12 o'clock, hi, uncle, auntie, chair. That's how we live, in parts, in particles. In the meantime, within every person is the soul of the whole, the wise This universal beauty to which every particle is equally related. No hierarchy among the parts. The eternal one and this deep hall in which we exist. And I love and use beatitude. It's available to everybody. Emerson says accessible to all. It is not only self-sufficing and perfect in every hour. Now, as most of you know, if you know me, you know I say quickly that I can't sing. Kind of proud of it, but I try anyway. But when he talked about perfect, I have a song for you, short little sweet piece that I wish every child would have been singing from the moment they came out of their mama's womb. And it says, and it works for old folks like me and you too. You're perfect. You're awesome. Perfect and perfect. You're beautiful. Just the way you are. You're lovely. Awesome and perfect. You're beautiful. Just the way you are. Just the way you are. Emerson says this is not only the act of seeing, it is also the thing seen. Not only the act of seeing, but the thing seen. The seer and the spectacle, the subject and the object. One thing, man. One thing. You and I, we see the world piece by piece. We see the sun, the moon, the animals, the trees, but the whole. Because we tend to only look at what he calls the shiny parts. They're real. They're just shiny. But the whole is the soul. So I offered that, what would it feel like to surrender to that realization, to that belief, to that idea, to the concept that we are souls. You've heard it, souls on a physical journey. And for us to be in harmony with that. Could we just take a deep breath together in that possibility that it could be so? Yeah. Souls on a physical journey, so that when I look into your eyes, I am in fact feeding your soul. So I want you to turn to the person next to you with their masked self and look them in the eye. 30 seconds, it won't take long. I won't mess with you too long. Just look in the eye. That is feeding the soul. Maybe that's why it's so hard for some of us to maintain a little eye contact. I call it chakra food. This is chakra food. Food for the soul. So don't be what I call a sidewalk watcher. Don't be a love botcher. Don't you be no sidewalk watcher. Be what your mama told you to be. Look people in the eye. Chakra food. Food for the soul. That's what keeps the chakras hot. It's a feeling. Now I know it may be hard to classify. Hard to quantify. After all, like I said, how much does that thing weigh? What size is that thing? What color is that thing? Can I take its temperature? Where is on the I don't see it on the chart of elements. Where does the chart, where does soul belong on the chart of elements? For some of us, if it cannot be quantified, maybe, it's a fantasy. It's not really real. Well, I think not. I think like the ancient ones. And I'm going to take a risk here. I'm going to say there's a part of the ancient ones that reside in you. That's why you are you. That's why you're here this morning. Sharif Abdullah tells us, he speaks about the 3 stages of humanity. The keepers. These are the ancient ones. The ones who could, if you will, talk to the animals, knew what all herbs and medicines were, did not break with the tradition, knew of the wise science. They lived as if nature was a part of them. We call them keepers. Then came the breakers. That's what they did with tradition. Now, the universe ain't no soul, no circular circle. It's a clock. It's a piece of machinery. Matter of fact, that thing you call nature, I'm going to control that. Breakers. Now, in case people get the wrong idea, breakers do some good stuff too. Lest we fall in that Cartesian mind of wanting to make things one way or the other. Always both ends. So after the breakers, y'all showed up. We showed up. We, let's own our stuff, we are breakers. But we remember the ways of the keepers. We remember the way. We know everybody has inherent worth. Ring a bell? We know about the power of the democratic process. We know, in spite of our differences, we're equal. We know that somewhere in our ego, in our soul, Moya, my Zulu brethren call it. I need some help now, so whenever I need help, I call on the poets. I love poetry. The great Persian poet Hafez says, somebody asked me, what is poetry? What is a poet? He said a poet is someone who can pour light. Can pour light into a cup, then raise it to quench your own mouth. Hafez has a message for us today, I do believe. But he too, like Emerson, talks about all the particles of the world. Hafez says, all the particles in the world are alive and looking for lovers. All the particles in the world are alive and looking for lovers. Pieces of straw will tremble in the presence of amber. His teacher's death unleashed a torrent of ecstatic poems. Lovers, friends of mine, lovers, this is the time. It is time for the taste of fire. Let sadness and fear of death sit in the corner and soul. We all have fear. We all have sadness. That is not us. That's sadness. That's fear. It's not you. Let them sit in the corner and sulk We don't ignore them. Look, come on. Sadness is a mess. It's a monster, especially in these times of tumult, as I like to say. We recognize sadness. Oh, man, sometimes, I'm scared. I'm scared now. Recognize fear. But let's put them in the corner. What might they look like if you say, go on over there and soul? Because the soul says, the sky reels with love. There is one being inside of all of us, one piece. So lovers and friends, let every word tremble. Let every word tremble its own window. Let's saddle that horse with great anticipation. We are all still riders. Our hairs may be a little gray, or it may be gone all total. But we are still riders. We are still poets. Soul still flows in our blood. Even present in our bones. It's kind of sitting there resonating in a kind of simmering song. Waiting for you. Waiting for me. Waiting to be served. Waiting to be served. So let this morning be a reminder of a spoon, a ladle. Be greedy. Now let's just take a shower. In the recognition of our souls. In the recognition of our souls. See, unlike a lot of indigenous folk, we only take an hour a week to claim it out loud and on purpose, like on Sunday, between 10 and 11. So I feel okay reminding us. I don't know about you, but I need to be reminded. I love Rachel Maddow, but she don't remind me of that. I got to keep up with all the folks out in the world doing stuff. But where do I go to be reminded of who I really am? Or what this deal is purported to be about? What every major religion in the history of mankind, in some degree or another, alludes or includes in its foundation. So can we take 1 hour, one day, a week, to say, when I see somebody, I'm going to look that person in the eye. I'm going to feed their sharpness. Oh, by the way, yours gets fed too. So there's something in there for everybody. Oh, that Jimi Hendrix thing I wanted to just came up now. You know how we always are. Rainy day, dream away, lay back and groove on a rainy day. I can see a bunch of wet creatures. Look at them on the run. But I'm just sitting by my windowsill, digging everything. So one day, my fellow fellowship members, there will come a voice calling on to those who understand this new math. This new math. See, it's based on love and not wrath. It's the gateway to the real path. The path of spirit. The path of those who overstand. Remember and teach that one day, 1 plus 1 will equal 0. 1 plus 1 will equal 0. You plus me equals 0. 0 race, zero nation, zero gender. Remember and teach that one day 1 + 1 will equal 0. The place of soul and no ego. May it be so. Blessed be. Amen. Please join me in a moment of silence, and may we find wisdom in the silence.
We have been warmed by fires we did not build. We have drunk at wells we did not dig. In gratitude of our many blessings and many needs, this morning's offering for this community will now be received.
So I have one big joy right away. We have some new folks among us today. I see you, I know some of you, I can smell the rest. So I just want to welcome you here. Here's another joy. This week someone did a kind deed for me early one day. This inspired me to pray it forward by taking homemade pie to 3 more people who are ill or in grief over a loss. What a joy-filled day. Yeah. This is a concern. We have 2 friends who passed away this week. Bless their soul. Please be with their family. Son of Janet Price, daughter Jenny and Bill Ike, if I'm pronouncing it correct. So we'll take this moment to acknowledge the loss and the grief that many of us are feeling these days, this day. We ask you to please send your love and healing thoughts to Brother Ron Crum, who we're sad to say is back at the Mayo Clinic. So please keep him in your thoughts. Of course, we hold Barbara Warren close to our best in our prayers on a daily basis. So Jan, I want you to drop one more stone. That's for all the joys and concerns that we did not speak to. The joy and the concern that you may be holding in your heart or in your head. We honor that too. So how y'all feeling?
Great.
Right, good. Well, we've got a closing song. It's got a message. One that I hope you'll take away with you today.
We are building a new way. We are building a new way. We are building a new way, feeling stronger every day. We are building a new way. We are working to be free. We are working to be free. We are working to be free. Hate and greed and jealousy. We are working to be free. We can feed our every need. We can feed our every need. We can feed our every need. Start with love that is a seed. We can feed our every need. Peace and freedom is our cry. Peace and freedom is our cry. Peace and freedom is our cry. Without these, this world will die. Peace and freedom is our cry. We are building a new way. We are building a new way. We are building a new way, feeling stronger every day. We are building We are building a new way. We are building a new way. We are building a new way.
So I'm feeling beautiful. Because beauty is in front of me. Beauty is behind me. Beauty is to the left of me. Beauty is to the right. Beauty is above me and beauty is below me. So it's a reminder from the Navajo people. Beauty is within you. Beauty is within me. Beauty surrounds us all. We're surrounded by beauty. Dare I say, in spite of it all. In spite of it all. So in recognition of that beauty,